Kevin Shaw here, full-time English teacher and part-time tutor, founder of The Right Method Tutoring. And so I want to talk to you real briefly. I just got off the Zoom session with a mother and her son, and they were talking about the timed tests. He scores really high in his writing, but he's a little uncomfortable with testing itself. He plays football. And so I was explaining to him how it is that I learned to become a very good test taker. And I am really good at the time tests because I've taught myself a strategy. And so I want you to think about something simple here. Think about your favorite sport. Now, some of you are not familiar with football. That's okay. But generally, a team, when they're in practice, the coach is executing a new play, and he might have it on a clipboard, right? Or a notepad, and say, okay, this is called the 1-2-3 defensive fake, right? And the team goes through that, and he gives them the steps, and the steps are new, right? Or there's a variation of their usual steps. But in this case, because it's a new play, there might be an additional step, there might be an adjustment that they need to make with the step. And so they go through in detail very slowly, and they'll walk through on the playing field. And then the coach will say, okay, let's try that again. Let's go a little bit faster. And then they'll do that. And you see where I'm going with this? By the 4th, 5th time, they're running the play. And by the 20th time, they're in that championship game, and the play either works or it doesn't work. In this case, it probably works because they ran through it, and they walked through it, and they tiptoed through it slowly. So, what did I talk about, and how is that applicable to the writing process when you're facing an advanced placement exam? And it could be that you're taking another standardized test that has writing on it. Is just like that coach has a set of steps that need to be adapted to that particular play, you cannot use the writing process exactly as you would if you were writing an essay in a classroom environment where it's due in a number of days, right? You only have, an hour and a half, 2 hours for the test, say, and realistically, in this essay, you might only have 15, 20 minutes. So what do? Well, what I teach is to adapt that writing process. Which if you want to know, for example, pre-writing, drafting, feedback from a peer or a teacher, revision, editing, final draft, 6 steps of the writing process. Well, you're not going to get feedback if you're in the middle of a timed test and you're looking at the clock. So what you're going to have to do is adapt and put a little more effort into the planning stage or the pre-writing stage, and then use some more organization and use some tools, some additional tools such as thinking maps, which if you're not familiar with are way different than, what do you call these, graphic organizers? I mean, I haven't used them in such a long time, I couldn't even remember the name right there, as you can see. So, if you want to know how to actually score really highly on a timed test, and actually have kind of a lot of fun with it, because I started to enjoy this process, and I got top results. Then contact me. In the description, you'll find the contact information for me on for the Facebook page, for my email address, and any other information I'm going to put on there. So anyway, happy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.